We've all heard the phrase, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Well, today we're talking about why taking that phrase at face value might be a terrible idea. So last week we sat down to record the podcast and I really didn't want to do it. I really didn't want to do it. I was borderline dreading it. And my first thought was, wait, isn't this supposed to feel like fun? Like if the whole thing is true that if you do what you love, you'll never have to work a day in your life and it's always going to feel like fun. Then why is this not feeling like fun? And my mind started going down this entire rabbit hole of like, oh, maybe the podcast is not really the right path for me. Maybe because this doesn't feel like fun, we should stop doing it. We should pivot to something else that does feel like fun. And I was like, wait. Hold on. A higher consciousness came in and said, no. Because yes, we can aim to make things as fun as possible. And we can aim to make our work feel like play as much as possible. But at the end of the day, I actually believe the most important skill in life is getting yourself to do things that do not feel like fun. The most important skill is being able to show up and do the boring things day after day, because no matter how much you love something at first, or no matter how passionate you are about something at first, there will come a time where it does get boring and when the fun stops being so fun.
Yeah.
And that's when you have to show up anyway.
That's basically discipline in a nutshell, right? Which we often refer to as the truest form of self-love.
Yep.
Is, and going back to what you said, it's easy to make a decision when you're in a really high state and get excited about doing something. And then after that time passes, most of us aren't able to keep that excitement up and stick with it. But that really is what separates the pros from the amateurs.
Yeah, and I think once you remove this expectation in your life that everything should feel like fun, you're going to be so much happier. Like, to expect that a relationship, like in the beginning, you're in the honeymoon stage, right? It feels like fun. And then for you to expect that stage of like, oh yeah, being in a relationship should be fun all the time. It's just this amazing thing that never has any conflicts or problems.
Yeah.
It's just setting you up to be disappointed. Same with work, same with anything in life.
Yeah.
You can't expect it to always be fun.
No, but let's go back to the phrase for a second, which is, well, what is it exactly? I don't want to do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. So there's two parts to this phrase, right? I actually think on a meta level, though, you should aim to do work that you love.
Okay.
Like if you separate the two things, you should aim to do work that you love and you find meaningful and enjoy.
Yeah,
And it's not going to, and then it's like, okay, even though you're doing work that you love or you're in a relationship with someone you love, there are going to be difficult days, and that second part might not always be true. Never feel like you're,
it doesn't actually feel like work all the time.
Yeah.
I gotcha. I think that you just need to make the distinction about what love means, because you used a different word the second time you explained it, which is meaningful. Like, there's two different distinctions you can make. If you branch out love, it could either mean fun or it could mean meaningful, in my opinion. So do work that feels like fun could also be decent advice, because that's pointing you in the direction of like something that you actually find meaningful, something that awakens the child within. But yeah, I think that's an important distinction you're making.
But I think that
aim to find work that does feel like fun, but don't expect it to always be fun. Is the distinction that we're making.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. I think one of the biggest mindset shifts that has helped us with this, because there was a time where we were looking at content as a hobby, where if we didn't feel like creating content that day, we just wouldn't make it. We just would punt it, basically. And I think there was a point where we interviewed Steven Pressfield on this podcast, who's the author of The War of Art. And he has this concept called turning pro, where you stop looking at what you're doing as a hobby and you start looking at it as a professional. And if you think about any professional in life, let's say they're going into a corporate job, they have a schedule, right? From Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, they're expected to punch in and punch out, and holidays, they need to call it in and whatever. Like, there's a certain expectation that comes with a professional. And I think once we turned pro with podcasting, where we said we're going to show up every single day, no matter if I felt that certain way of oh, I'm dreading this today. Like you're dreading work. And there's so many people. I used to dread going into work, but you got to do it anyway because you're a professional. So taking that mindset into every single area of life, whether that's going to the gym, you got to turn pro, do it anyway.
Mhm.
Just this idea of doing it anyway and
Yeah.
turning pro has been such a powerful idea for us.
And I got to bring in my Knicks reference here. I'm
Here
saying,
we go.
and Jalen Brunson, right? He is a pro. And you have to imagine if Jalen Brunson didn't feel like working out or was a little under the weather, would he show up to the gym to do his shots and his sprints and his stretches that day? The answer is definitely yes, right? He's a pro, and that's why he is the greatest, because even those days when he doesn't feel like it, he shows up.
Yeah. So I think the replacement advice to sum it up is don't find work that never feels like work. Find work that is worth the work.
Hmm.
Find work that is worth those boring days and show up and do it anyway. You can try your best to have fun doing that work, but never expect the work to be easy.
Hmm.
That is like what we're really trying to say here. Don't expect it to be easy and fun every day. And if it stops being easy and fun, you're in the shiny object syndrome and you're going to chase the next shiny and
Yeah.
easy thing. It's going to get hard. It's not going to feel great every single day. Your feelings are going to fluctuate, but there is one decision you can make, which is to do it anyway.
Yeah. I just read something about decisions, about successful people will be slow to make decisions, but no, they'll be fast to make decisions, but slow to change them. And unsuccessful people do the opposite. They are slow to make decisions, but fast to change them.
And how does that relate?
Basically, you make this decision of, okay, we're going to work on this project. We're going to be podcasters, right? You make that decision, but then it starts getting hard and you quickly change your decision. That is an unsuccessful person. The successful person sticks with their decision for a longer period of time.
Got it. All right, so let's wrap this up with a call to action, which is a mantra to take into your day, one that we've repeated multiple times in this episode so far. Do it anyway. The next time you don't feel like doing the thing, the workout, the job, the diet, don't read it as a sign that you are on this wrong path and that maybe there's something more fun and exciting over there that you should be doing. Read it as a sign that you are on the right one and use it as an opportunity to train your brain to do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway.
All right. I like the repetition there. Thanks
Do
for
it
hanging
anyway.
out with us. Love you.
Peace.